It's an ordinary Tuesday afternoon in Springfield, Tennessee. Jeremiah Payne, his wife, and their 5-year-old daughter are out for a family walk when the girl accidentally drops a candy wrapper on the street. A neighbor comes running out of his home to confront them, so Jeremiah starts recording.
Yeah, it's her candy. I apologize. It fell out.
Get on your knees, put your hands behind your back.
According to Jeremiah, the neighbor berates them for littering and claims to be a cop. But when Jeremiah asks for his name and badge number, the neighbor suddenly gets physical.
Let go of my phone, man. What are you doing?
All I did was ask your name and badge
I gotta have a problem with you.
It's not clear why the neighbor is behaving in this way, but he is not happy.
The is wrong with you, dude? Get in.
We're just trying to watch you, folks.
Guys, please.
We're just
You.
As the situation is getting even more tense, the neighbor calls the police.
I need an officer. Get the away from me. Stay away from me.
I would just like to watch you, folks.
No, we're leaving.
No, you're not going to.
You're not a cop to detain me.
For the police officer.
You are not a cop. Hey, he's trying to kidnap me. Help!
Yeah.
Help!
10 minutes later, the police arrive.
I'm not going to jail, dude. I didn't do anything wrong.
The neighbor goes over to explain his side of the story, and then the cops come to speak with Jeremiah and his wife.
So I want to press charges on him. I have it on video. Would you like to see it?
After watching the video, the cop consults with the neighbor, and then they approach Jeremiah.
Mr. Payne, is it all right if he speaks with you for a moment?
As long as you stand here while he does.
Yes, sir, of course.
Jeremiah has no clue what the man is about to say.
I'm not trying to hurt you. Don't want to scare you. I'm trying to be man enough and apologize, which is a hard thing for cops to do. I just didn't like the litter in my yard. That's
Yeah,
that's all.
She didn't mean to drop it, but to
really is.
go to that extent because I pulled out my phone and asked you for your name and badge number, really? Come on now. That's being a tyrant.
100%. You're right, and I apologize.
That lady brought
I'll
her.
extend my hand to you if you're man enough to shake it.
Oh, I'm not enough shake your hand.
Is it all right if we leave it at that, sir?
Yeah,
Please,
I'm still gonna post a video though. I mean,
That's your legal right. I'm
Yeah.
not going to stop you from doing that.
When the video is published online, it receives 50,000 views. Jeremiah has not filed any charges, and he and his family have recently moved to Kentucky, where they hope to live a stress-free life.
get the away from me. Stay away from me.
There is trash trouble ahead one mellow Tuesday morning in Tucson, Arizona. 26-year-old Savannah Stamper Cruz is surprised to see her next-door neighbor on her security camera marching towards the front door. Savannah and her neighbor share the same garbage cans and have argued about them in the past.
What? Yeah, and your ass can't open the door. You want to start something and then go cry baby to people? Leave the trash cans. Tomorrow is Wednesday, remember?
The next day is trash collection day, but earlier this morning, Savannah spotted the trash cans on the sidewalk and moved them to where they are now. Savannah says if they are left curbside the day before pickup, she risks a city fine, but the neighbor prefers them to be in the street and has a grievance about Savannah.
You are inconsistent with putting out the garbage. That's why it's being left on the side of the road like every other person's is. Every other person's is on the side of the road. I left you guys alone in the backyard. Come outside and see it! Come outside and see you, bitch!
To avoid any further trouble, Savannah chooses to stay inside her home. But seconds later, Savannah feels her neighbor is trying to provoke her when she drags back one of the garbage bins and angrily begins dumping the trash bags onto her doorstep.
Come outside, bitch! Come outside!
As she gets up, Savannah claims her neighbor punches the window and breaks the glass, sending shards onto the driveway. Savannah reports the incident to the police, but they decide not to take any further action.
Come outside and see you, bitch!
The video is seen 1.2 million times online, and many people ask Savannah why she doesn't go outside to confront her angry neighbor. So she tells her side of the story.
It took everything in me to not do something, and I'm proud of myself, and I appreciate the people that are proud of me for staying inside.
Savannah says the neighbor has now moved out, so there will be no more trash talk on Trash Day.
Come outside, bitch!
I live on a pretty big property out in the middle of nowhere in the mountains of New Mexico. And apparently, one of my neighbors has been chucking their empty cups onto my property. There's a whole bunch of them. And so what I did was I got myself a motion-activated trail cam. Let's go ahead and put it on this tree. I'm going to aim it so that it's sort of pointed at the road and pointed at the cups. And so that way, whenever one of my neighbors drives by, we'll see which neighbor is actually the one throwing the cups.
The spy cam is a great idea, but sometimes the evidence just falls in your lap.
Holy it's my neighbor Dale.
Talk about being in the right place at the right time. Time to confront that naughty neighbor, Dale.
Dale! Is this yours?
No. What?
Have you been throwing these in my yard?
No.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
You've been throwing these in my yard. Why?
I wouldn't throw those in yours. Nothing to do with it.
I just saw you throw this cup into my yard.
You... No. Get out of here.
Dale, I have you on video throwing this cup in my yard around a whole bunch of other
I just got home, all right?
I just saw you throw this cup into my yard, and I want you to go pick up the other ones that you've been throwing in there too.
You want me to what?
Go pick up the other ones.
Look, if you've got trash in your yard...
You're getting too close.
Who's getting close? You're on my property, my house. Just...
Did you throw this cup in my yard?
No.
You did,
No.
and I can show you the video.
Oh, I don't think so.
If you go clean up the cups, I will forget about the whole thing. I have it on video. I
don't
know it was
what
you.
you're talking about. I don't want to hear any more about it. You take your trash and you go.
That is literally your trash.
It's not my trash.
It doesn't seem like Dale is getting the message.
It's your trash, Dale. And I expect you to clean up the rest of it. I'm going to give you 1 day, or I'm going to pick it up myself and dump it on your property.
I don't even know what to say to you. Better be gone when I get out of there.
I'm going to trust you're going to pick it all up, Dale. Dale, just pick it up.
Get it out of here.
Just pick it up, Dale. 1 day. It's my neighbor Dale.
The tale of the trash takes another strange turn in the aftermath. A short time later, Mitch's trail cam records Dale climbing onto the property. At first, it seems like he wants to do the right thing and pick up his litter. But this neighbor's actions are not what you'd expect. He's covering it with a layer of cardboard, then a sprinkling of dirt, and a bunch of dead branches. The cover-up is weirder than the crime. After leaving his garbage behind, Dale heads home. 3 days later, Mitch discovers the mess still on his property. He sees no option but to collect the cups himself. Although he doesn't come out and say it, Dale does get the message and never throws trash in Mitch's yard again. Mount Dora is a quiet suburb just north of Orlando. And for Gene Bozzi, it was the perfect place to move with his family.
People in my neighborhood actually try to look out for each other, so they make sure people was picking up dog poop. They make sure that there's not people speeding through the neighborhood. Everybody got a good uplifting spirit, a good attitude, and they just want to see a good environment for the children, and make sure there's no bad things going through our life.
But unfortunately for Gene and his neighbors, something potentially bad has found its way onto a neighbor's front lawn. An alligator from a nearby pond.
Baby, watch out, watch out.
This particular day when our kids was just out of school, my daughter got on her bike. As soon as she got on, she came back, there was an alligator that came out of the water.
Oh.
But I'm looking like, hold on, somebody got to do something.
With neighbors gathered around and uncertain about what to do next, Gene is forced to improvise. Armed with a recycling bin, Eugene inches his way towards the ferocious reptile, careful to keep the bin between them.
I just thought that was the best thing to do is to, eliminate the threat. I did the safest things for all parties. Basically use the trash can, scoop him up like the old game, Hungry Hippo. When I got into that point when he was actually in the trash can, when his tail was thrashing back and forth for the last moment is when I thought about it, like, I think this is like Jurassic Park. He kind of scared me for 5 seconds, but I had my hand on the lid, he was doing his thing in there.
Gene finally bags the gator, but is now faced with the problem of what to do with an angry 300-pound reptile trapped in a garbage bin.
This is crazy. So I thought to myself, if I put him back in the water, he's more than likely going to keep himself here because he don't want to go through what he went through again. So that's why I thought to myself, and I returned, and I thought it was the right thing to do. Always return the animals back to his natural habitat.
With the gator safely returned to the next door swamp, Gene is hailed by his neighbors like Superman, or more specifically, a super Florida man.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a superhero. I was like, I'm a protector, a dad. My kids depend on me. They rely on me first. You know, they know actually that their dad is their real superhero. And I gotta be that, you know, so I get old and they take care of me. So that's how I look at it.
And most important of all, the gator incident has brought Gene's community together like he's never seen before.
More than anything, I love the fact that they definitely gave me a lot of positive energy when the incident happened. That showed me that I don't care if you're black, white, green, whatever the case may be. We gonna look out for each other. We gonna be here as a family, not just a community, but a neighborhood, old-fashioned way.
Beecher is a small town about an hour south of Chicago, and it comes with that expected small-town charm. It's why Antonio Estevez is raising his kids here.
Well, I'm a single dad, and what I like about being in an apartment is, I can get help, with babysitting. All the neighbors watch each other's kids, so everybody's taking care of everybody's kids.
Antonio's neighbors are like one big happy family in their apartment building, except for one neighbor who lives right across the hall.
My first impression was that she was quiet. I never would have thought that the neighbor would have became what she became when I first met her.
One day, Antonio notices that his neighbor opposite is piling her trash into their shared hallway.
If somebody puts a trash bag in front of their door, if you're going out to throw out the trash, typically one would grab the other bag and just take it down. All the tenants follow the trash rule except for that one person right across the hall.
Frustrated with the piling trash, Antonio claims that he asks his neighbor to start taking her trash to the bins, but she doesn't respond well to the request.
I checked my doorbell camera and I seen that, she was throwing trash at my door, and I was shocked. And it wasn't just one little bag or two. She would do 3 bags for a box. I was pissed and flabbergasted, really, because who does that?
Antonio claims that he once again asks his neighbor to start properly disposing of her trash, but she doesn't, and instead responds by making mocking gestures in the view of his doorbell camera.
She just started to have erratic behavior.
With his neighbor's unpredictable and hostile behavior showing no signs of changing, Antonio decides to take a new approach.
I checked my doorbell ring and I noticed that she's in the hall, throwing the box in the middle of the floor. So I decided, enough is enough. Now it's time to play fire with fire. Maybe she'll stop. And that's when I picked up the trash that she had around everywhere and I piled it directly in front of her door for when she came out. That was the first thing she saw.
The next day, Antonio is confronted by another resident of the building who's been convinced by his neighbor that Antonio is the aggressor in their neighbor feud. But because those who don't live in Antonio's hallway, it's tough to tell who started things.
Why are you taking out? First of all, I'm not picking on anybody if you don't know what's going on.
The woman in the video she's one of the neighbors, and she was under the impression that I was the bad guy and that was all my trash because she's only going by what she hears. At that point, it was war.
I am.
He's alone. That's why he's alone.
I'm not alone, just so you know that.
You're all alone. You're a loser. Remember, go get your girlfriend. Go get a girlfriend. You're right to knock your crackhead face. Go on. Go on. Bye-bye.
But as it turns out, Antonio's not the only neighbor fed up with the litter bug's antics. He claims several other neighbors complained to the town's health department.
Everybody started calling me because we were trying to get her to the point where it's like, okay, throw your trash out. You're being a pig. Like, cut it out already. She was getting just mean for anything and everything.
Finally, after enough residents speak up, Antonio's neighbor packs her things and moves out.
The day she left, everybody was screaming, clapping. We all had pizza and hung out together in the hallway just because we got our hallways back.
And even after all the personal insults, Antonio doesn't hold a grudge towards his former neighbor.
If I could say, anything to it, would be basically seek help, because that is not normal behavior. Enjoy yourself, be true to yourself, and just leave people alone.
Norwalk is a small inland town south of Los Angeles, and for local resident Will Foley, it's a nice, quiet place to live.
I'm in my neighborhood for 8 years now. I know my neighbors on a first-name basis that are immediately surrounding me. Neighbors are all nice.
But there's one thing that isn't so nice in Will's neighborhood, and it's a basic expectation for most neighbors: proper garbage disposal.
We have to put our trash in the alleyway. It's in the back of our house. I don't have a doorbell camera back there or any kind of surveillance cameras out there.
One morning, after the garbage truck has already swung by, Will has to take his bins back in, but finds that a neighbor has filled them back up with their own bags of trash.
So as soon as I see my trash can has been filled up, I think I gotta find out who this person is.
Looking to turn the situation into something productive, Will decides to grab a few cameras and start documenting his trash investigation, one stinky piece of garbage at a time.
I start to go through the trash, hoping that I can find a address, name, something that can tell me who this person was that dumped the trash in my trash can. The first set of trash that I went through, I see a piece of mail. It was their address cut off of a piece of mail, like it's meant for me to find it. And I Googled their address, and it's halfway across town. I put the bag of trash in my trunk, and I drive out towards their home. I'm on my way over to their house. I'm thinking about, is this person going to be an old lady? Is this person going to be some big old guy, and he's going to have a gun? As I pull up to the house, I see nobody's around. It's a quiet neighborhood. As I'm walking up their driveway with their trash bag in my hand, I see that they have a doorbell camera. It's giving me that little bit of satisfaction that they're seeing me deliver the trash that they gave to me, and I'm able to give it back to them.
Having returned the trash, Will heads home to enjoy the satisfying sensation homeowners get from having their own empty, clean trash bins. And he hasn't heard from the neighborhood litter bugs since.
I haven't heard from these people at all, and I'm not worried if I do. It would be pretty ballsy of them to come knocking on my door, complaining about me returning the trash that they dumped on me.
Exactly why Will's crosstown neighbors drove their trash 2 miles to leave it in his can remains a mystery, but he reflects back on the experience as a teachable moment for how to be a good neighbor.
When you live in a neighborhood, you're supposed to care about your neighbors and be neighborly. Take care of your own trash. Don't take your trash and dump it off on somebody else's lawn.
Essex, United Kingdom. When Tammy Westwood moves back home to the UK after 8 years in the United States, life in her new neighborhood is good.
I love living in this neighborhood. When we go out, we're always, if anybody's in the street, we always say hi, we're always friendly.
But Tammy claims things in her London suburbs soon go from lovable to ludicrous after she claims a neighbor habitually tucks her trash can by Tammy's garage, which really ticks her off.
I have no idea why her empty trash can kept ending up leaning against my garage.
My God, why?
It was completely pointless.
So let's just get it straight. You keep your bin on your property, and I'll keep my bricks on mine.
I won't keep the bin on my property. I've already told you that.
You won't keep the. You won't keep your. Why will you? I'm not harassing you.
The neighborhood feud ratchets up a notch when one day while running errands, Tammy receives a phone call from her son who claims that the neighbor has some choice words for him.
My son called me and he said to me, Mum, I've just gone out there and she started on me.
You can go away because you ain't got no money. Your father didn't give you any.
Like any protective mother, Tammy rushes home to confront her neighbor, and their squabble now becomes more than just a petty trash bin dispute.
How can she say that?
So I push her door, she comes out. I pull my hand back to actually defend that and throw a punch.
Touch me. Touch me. Touch me. Go ahead.
I thought to myself, no, don't do that.
The argument soon spills out into the alley, where Tammy's son records the heated discussion.
Yeah? Now she got another friend. Yeah?
So I'm there and I'm screaming and she's screaming and we're arguing with each other, and I'm not feeling like we're ever going to get a resolution to this.
You keep your on your side. You keep off my blasted land. You keep off my papers out. No. Look. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah, you
Get your papers out my face. Don't put your papers in my face.
Yeah, mess about with me, love.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Get your bin off my land.
Make you go back on my land and you see what happened.
Tammy once again stands up for her son when the neighbor has more words for him.
Your son's recording
witnesses. Right,
Your son's recording it. Goes to show what you're about. You as well. Everybody on this road has got
Don't start on my kids, Suzanne. Don't start on my kids,
Everybody got something.
Don't start on my kids.
So as I'm seeing her attack my family members and be rude and abusive to them, I'm getting more and more hurt and upset, because my instinct is to protect my family members as much as I can, and I will.
Shut your mouth. Stay away from my family.
You shut your mouth, all right? Because you got the biggest mouth I've ever seen.
No, that would be you.
You know people who've got mouth,
that would be you.
Mouths?
That would be you.
You lack this,
Just
your
keep
brains.
your bin
You
off
lack
my
the brains,
land.
love. You're all
Stop
it.
spreading my life.
You're all it.
Thankfully, calmer heads prevail, and each woman returns home. After their contentious exchange, the neighbor stops placing her trash bin up against Tammy's garage.
At the moment, things are peaceful. She has moved her trash can. She's not saying anything. If it comes up again, I'll, do what I need to do for my family and just stand my ground.
And while the two neighbors currently have an unspoken truce, Tammy still harbors resentment towards her neighbor.
I hope every day that she moves, to be honest with you. It'd be bliss. Of course, we don't know who we're going to get in her place, but I don't think it could ever be as bad as having her here at all.
I'm genuinely not trying to start. I just want to talk.
After Jeff and Kayla Elkins buy a piece of land near Huntsville, Texas, they find themselves in an ongoing battle with their older neighbors who once owned the 2-acre lot.
What did I start?
You cut my grass. This is the
property line.
This is my side of the grass. You cut it. Come on, bitch.
The property, which the neighbors previously gifted to their son, was subsequently purchased by Jeff and Kayla, much to the original owner's dismay.
Now, why don't you go take your happy ass to home? I am home, stupid.
Jeff claims the neighbors want to make life so unpleasant that they sell the property back.
Hey, anybody that's
I drive up and down this driveway every day going home. I don't bother nobody. I just...
You stop every damn day and take pictures and videos of us.
The neighbor in red touches on a sticking point that sets Jeff off.
I got you on every prove it, bitch. I will, you.
Jeff claims that the neighbors are recording him, which gives him alarm. In response, Jeff and Kayla start recording back in a tit-for-tat game of I Spy. At random times, both day and night, Jeff says he catches the neighbors driving by and honking on camera.
I literally just gonna sit here and drive up and down the driveway and honk at us.
If they start hungry, I'm gonna put this flashlight on them.
Jeff puts up a privacy fence along the property line in an attempt to keep the neighbors from recording him. But he then alleges that this causes the neighbors to deposit trash near his property just to annoy him.
No, your old ass is dumping trash all over the ground next to my damn fence.
The acrimony continues when Kayla records the neighbors slowly driving by and seemingly recording she and Jeff in their yard. So Jeff confronts them.
Leave us the alone!
Jeff.
I'm on my property. No, you're not, bitch. You're on the county property, stupid.
Suddenly, what the older neighbors do next scare Jeff and his wife.
Great, now look what you started.
What are they gonna do?
They record a loud bang that seemingly originates from their neighbor's vehicle. Shaken by the noise, Jeff and Kayla call the police to intervene. In the following days, Jeff and Kayla explain the situation to the authorities and share their pictures and videos, which don't result in any arrests or charges being filed. Jeff and Kayla say they have no intention of selling the property and moving away, so they are resigning themselves to the likelihood that their neighbor's behavior will continue and are hopeful that it won't lead to any further frightening interactions.
Why don't you go take your happy ass home? I am home, stupid.
A full-time student and artist in Boise, Idaho, Sarah Art Burchard thought she found a nice, affordable apartment near her school.
So the neighborhood is right next to the university, and it is mostly college students.
But it's not long after moving in that Sarah catches a neighbor being a sneaky litter bug.
I'm currently recording this neighbor throwing cat feces over the balcony, which goes onto our yard, the neighbors below us. I saw him throwing cat litter off of the balcony. I think he was just like doing it out of laziness.
Sarah is a non-confrontational person. Her husband is not.
Right there, that guy.
Hey, what the man? What the
Hey, maybe we're to go onto your side.
I don't give a It's always in my yard. It's making me sick. It's making my wife sick. It's making my dog sick.
This is more than just garbage. This is literally someone intentionally throwing something over that had been affecting my health.
Cat litter can contain parasites that are harmful to people and wildlife. And dumping it improperly is a misdemeanor offense in Idaho, punishable by up to 6 months in prison.
It's been in the backyard. It's been in the street.
I've never done it.
Sir, it gets on my yard.
I was very appreciative there was someone there that wanted to do the yelling and maybe me a little bit of the backup yelling. We've been the ones cleaning up all that trash, all that crap, all of it.
You want me to come clean it up for you?
Would appreciate it, because it's really gross. I'm allergic to it. It makes me so sick. I think he was just kind of shocked that he'd been caught and called out for it.
Yeah, I'll definitely get this up. Clean this up. Definitely sorry.
He came and cleaned up, I'd say about 3/4 of the mess that was left behind.
Sarah never sees the litter sprinkler again and soon moves to a more hygienic neighborhood.
I am really clean, very particular about cleaning, and I am very thankful that I'm not in that situation anymore.
Where she doesn't have to worry about it raining kitty litter anymore. When most people think of New York, they think of the Big Apple. But upstate New York is filled with welcoming and picturesque neighborhoods, which is exactly why homeowner Chris Dorenzo is raising his family there.
We were really drawn to this neighborhood, where I grew up, knowing that it's a very quiet, family-friendly neighborhood.
Chris and his wife purchased a home in the town of Lyons. And before they can even bring in their first moving box, they're introduced to the neighborhood busybody who lives right next door.
The day that we did close on the home and got the keys, we were out front and she came out of her front door and said, "Hi, I'm the new neighbor. Your lawn really needs to be mowed."
One morning, as the fall turns to winter, they look outside and see something new attached with zip ties directly to their house, a snow fence.
So a snow fence typically help prevent the snow from blowing over the road or over your driveway. It is very uncommon to find a snow fence in a residential backyard, such as this.
Chris and his wife decide they don't want their neighbor's apparatus on their property. When she's never asked permission in the first place, they remove the fence from their house and take videos of themselves doing so to post on social media. But after taking the fence down themselves, the neighbor puts it back up while she thinks nobody's watching. Once she's done with the fence, she installs motion sensors in her house, pointed towards the Dorenzos to deter them from touching her precious fence.
After the neighbor had put 2 motion sensors in her window facing our home and the snow fence, we decided to take googly eyes and draw little faces all over the window that faces her house right next to the snow fence and just write, "We are watching you."
But the neighbor doesn't have a sense of humor about the matter. And while Chris is at work, she finds another way to once again put the fence back up.
She then proceeded to take several pieces of trash, like a garbage can, a bench, a block, and take those items and pile them against our house, pinning the snow fence between our house and those items. And my wife woke up and saw it and basically decided, I've had enough, I'm done.
Not wanting their neighbor's apparatus on their property, Chris and his wife take it upon themselves to remove it. Infuriated by her fence being taken down a second time, according to Chris, their neighbor puts the fence up once more, then makes an unexpected call.
So instead of having a civil conversation, she decided that calling the state police would be a better avenue.
Okay, so you guys are the ones having issues with the neighbor, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Her snow fence is on our property, and she continues to pile her stuff up against our house.
Like against the gutters.
She's up. Let's compare maps.
When the New York State Troopers came, we had a map of the property line handy in our hand. I brought it out with me. So they could see exactly where the property line was.
We're gonna settle this right now. We got a tape measure. We're gonna compare maps.
That's not the property line.
All right.
We own 5 inches.
Stop. You're not gonna argue with her while we're here. Do you understand?
Yep.
You won't speak to each other while I'm here.
Okay.
Understand?
Despite the heated words between both sides, the troopers attempt to work as a mediator between the 2 neighbors and to determine exactly where the property line ends.
She's piling this stuff up against all this, though.
Okay, do you agree?
Nothing was touching there.
You liar.
That's why I put this.
I have pictures.
We have pictures and videos.
And when they make the final call, the neighbor moves her a pile of junk and puts up the fence in a way that doesn't anchor on Chris's property.
She has generally left the snow fence alone where the cops told her she could put the stuff that was just over the edge of the property line.
Now, Chris and his family have an uneasy truce with their fence-loving neighbor, and he still holds out hope that they can have a reasonable relationship even after all the drama.
This experience has really taught me to listen to your neighbors and try and understand where they may be coming from. This situation has also made me realize that we need to buy a big farm one day with no neighbors anywhere in sight.
You liar. We have pictures and videos.